Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. In today's episode, I'm joined with Sam, and Sam is an actor. As we're coming up to 16 years since The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, where Sam was, he was in that episode. Obviously a lot younger then, but we don't have to talk about that.
No beard, no beard.
Yeah, but yeah. So I guess Sam, it's been 16 years since those two episodes.
Hmm.
Like, can you believe it's been 16 years?
Gosh, I didn't even realize it was 16 years. When you said 16 years, that's a whole human. My brother's just turned 17. So yeah, probably his lifespan. Yeah, crazy. It still feels quite fresh in my memory. I mean, I've sometimes, it comes up on TV quite a lot, and often I'll chuck it on just in the background, sometimes watching it. And I just look like a whole different person. So it's quite a weird thing, but it still feels yeah, it's definitely still feels fresh in the memory. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good two-parter, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gone down quite well. I mean, it's funny, throughout my life and my 20s, and I'll be having a drink with people and people just start talking about Doctor Who, and then all my mates will be like, well, Sam was actually in Doctor Who. And then they're like, whoa, what episode? And without fail, everyone always remembers that episode. So it's kind of one of those iconic characters and episodes, really, which is quite a privilege to be involved in. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Because within even now, up to Doctor Who now, it's a rare appearance for the Silurians to be in Doctor Who
Mm.
within the last maybe 10, even past that episode.
Have they come back since? Because I don't watch it as much anymore. I don't know.
Not really, except from I think the actress who plays the Silurian, the main Silurian in The Hungry
Mm.
Earth and Cold Blood. I think she plays another Silurian called Vastra.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And yeah, there's no like standalone Silurian episodes from there really.
No, it's they're quite an iconic because there was episodes in the 80s, was it? I think there was
Yeah,
like when they first were introduced, I think.
yeah.
I
That
remember.
it's been a while. It's like it was the first time I've seen them.
Mm. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was yeah, it was mad to be honest because I was a massive Doctor Who fan growing up. Obviously Christopher Eccleston was my first Doctor. Then, as everyone is always obsessed with David Tennant, that era was just crazy. Um, and so kind of being in it and kind of seeing how it worked, it was yeah mind blowing. It was a great privilege, and it's been one of those ones. I've done lots of jobs, but I still go back to that job and it's just a great privilege to just be in the world of Doctor Who. Like it'll be a legacy that will always be there. I did a convention last year, the first time for a while actually, and it kind of inspired me a little bit with my acting and because I was in a bit of a rut at the time and it was just nice to kind of look back and just go look at the beauty and the fun and the amazing moments I've had. And it kind of inspired me to just to keep going with it and yeah, got me out of a little bit of a rut.
Yeah. So it's quite it must be still quite surreal for you to say that you've been in Doctor Who.
Yeah, it is odd. I remember once, this was really strange. I was in a university because I went to Bristol University for 3 months. I quit after 3 months. I wanted to be an actor. I don't know why I was there. I struggled. I couldn't sit through a lecture, but I think it was one of my first or second lectures. I have no idea. I must have still looked pretty young at the time. I was 18. And a girl came up to me in the middle of the lecture, well, at the end of the lecture, tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "Were you in Doctor Who?" And I was like, "Yeah. How do you know?" Um, but I've just had quite a few really surreal moments like that, and you just sort of forget that you were in this kind of peak, prestige TV show. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, it's very cool.
Because you had scenes with Matt Smith as well.
Mm.
Like that must have been pretty cool.
He's an
Doing that.
amazing guy. He's such a good guy. I mean, he was an unknown at the time. He was about 27, not far from my age now. And I remember, I think it was like he barely really worked, had he? It was kind of like a real shock that he got the part, but I think he did amazing. And I'll never forget, I was I had an audition about 2 or 3 months after finishing Doctor Who at the BBC Television Centre, and it was up in London. It was the old one, the one at White City. I think it's moved now. And I was waiting in the waiting room, and I was with my granddad, who was actually my shop chaperone on Doctor Who, and he used to take me to auditions. And we were waiting in the waiting room, and then suddenly Matt Smith, with like an entourage of people, just started walking through the building. And I sort of looked at him and didn't really say anything. But my granddad was like, "Oh, you should say something. Go on, it's Matt. Like you literally worked with him." I was like, "Oh, he's not going to remember me. It was 3 months, like whatever. It was 2 episodes or whatever." And my granddad was like, "No, no, say something." So I said, "Oh, Matt," and he turned round, looked at me, ran at me, picked me up, and went, "Sam," and we had this like really nice moment. And that's the kind of guy he is. He's just a really down to earth, normal bloke, really. And I mean, now his career's gone stratospheric, you know. But yeah,
It happens when you're a doctor, doesn't it?
it's the way to go. I hope they bring back. I'm like at the time I remember there was this girl sent me, a friend of mine sent me this Tumblr. It was when Tumblr was a thing, and it was a picture of like a series of like small characters who'd been in Doctor Who, little side characters, and being like these would be potentially good doctors in the future. So Russell T Davis, if you want to bring Elliot Northover back as the Doctor, please call me up.
Would you like to be the doctor then? Is that something you would like to be one day?
I mean, it would be amazing, but yeah, it would. I mean, that would be crazy. But I don't know how that would work.
It's happened before. Peter Capaldi was in an episode as a side character,
No way.
and then
Okay.
and then he was the doctor.
Fab. Well, I think you can double up. I feel like I know a couple of actors who've done it twice. It's
Yeah.
like I've done Casualty twice, but I don't know with Doctor Who. It feels like because the characters are a little more distinct
Mm.
rather than just doctors and nurses or whatever. Um, I think it might be tricky, but I'd absolutely love to do it. I'd love to do it. Who
Yeah.
wouldn't?
Yeah. It's because I spoke to Richard Ashton, who was in a Peter Capaldi episode. He played the Ice Warrior,
Yeah,
and he watched Peter Capaldi say all these lines, and he's like, to be the Doctor, you have to be like Shakespeare to remember all these lines. It must be really difficult, as well, to be the Doctor because you get all those lines and all those monologues where you're just speaking on
it's
your own.
crazy. It's true. Like I remember picking up the script and like seeing Matt Smith's reams of dialogue, like you say, and having to remember all these words and stuff, and like as in names of bizarre things, aliens, all these kind of things. It's a proper skill. And the turnover for TV is really like you film quite a few scenes in a day, so you're not kind of just focusing on one thing. So it's a proper skill. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember there was a speech when you was all in the church. There was a speech Matt was doing to to all of you in there, and it's very good.
Brilliant.
It's very good. Like you had one in the speech, then you had one in the temple.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it must be for a lot of people watching it's moving, but for being there and just you just having your character just doesn't say anything, you're just
No.
breathing it in what he's saying. It must be pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, and I kind of wish that I could go back and relive it, to be honest, because it's one of those ones when you're young. I think often you don't really truly appreciate things. I was 13, I turned 13, talking about the temple, I turned 13 on set, and Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, and Arthur Darville surprised me with a birthday cake and had the whole cast and crew singing my birthday for my 30th. So that is a pretty cool 13th birthday.
Yeah,
And that was where we did the convention last year because the convention was held at the location of where the temple was filmed in Cardiff. So that's where the guy wanted to get me involved in it. Um, but yeah, crazy. I sometimes forget. some of these stories.
Yeah.
It's
It's
nice
it's
to
good
relive them.
though. Like, it's not every day you get a surprise cake from Arthur Darville, Karen Gillan.
Not at all. It's I think the older you get, the more you just so much happens in life and you just sort of forget, and then you sometimes go back and you're like, wow, I really did have quite a cool teenage life.
A lot of people think I live in Cardiff because I don't live in Cardiff, but a lot of people think that because I love going to the Doctor Who locations.
Do you often whereabouts are you based?
But Essex,
Okay, but you
but
you make the trip down.
yeah, I make the trip down every few years. I've been twice,
Nice.
um, and each time I take family there. And even if you don't like Doctor Who, it doesn't matter because you go to all these wonderful places where the locations are. So I went to the church where Hungry Earth was filmed. That was one of
You
the
went to
locations
that
I
place?
went to.
Wow, in
And
Anisabul, I think it is. Is it Anisabul?
yeah, it might be. I don't remember the
I've got
names.
family from that part of the world, and they didn't realize I was in it at the time. They like extended family, and they were just mad Doctor Who fans. And then they saw my granddad, and they were like, "Wait, what are you doing here?" And it was like, "Well, Sam's going to be in it." It was just this weird coincidence because that is where some of my family's from. Um, yeah, that's really cool. That church is it was perfect location. It was a beautiful
Yeah.
place.
But going up the road to get there, it's almost like you're going up a roller coaster.
I know it's a twindy little place. I mean, I haven't been there. I don't know if I've been there since. I might have driven past it a couple of times, but I mean, I remember my first day on set. We had the trailer locate the vans where the vans are held, and that was kind of just a little bit around the corner. I remember just turning up and just being met with this mass set of just, quite on a Doctor Who set, you've got a lot of people because there's a lot of working things going on. You've got the SFX team, you've got visual effect, all that stuff, more so than any other sort of set I've ever been on. And then obviously you're seeing Matt Smith for the first time, and Karen Gillan and Arthur Darville, and they were all lovely. Like they just made me so welcome. It was great. Um,
Yeah.
and Nia Roberts, who's played my mum, who played my mum in it, has played my mum since, in a different show. So
Oh, that's pretty
I'm
cool.
still in contact with her, and she's lovely.
What show was that?
It was a show. It was a Welsh language show called Yr Amgueddfa, but that translates to the museum, and it's like a kind of semi-crime thrillery sort of thing. I think it's available on something. I don't know. Might be available on BBC iPlayer. But yeah, that was cool. That was filmed during COVID, so it was really nice to have a bit of work to get me through COVID because everything stopped.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I went there and it was it was a fun experience to get there. But then when you're there, like because obviously it was years after, like you had the gate where the TARDIS was,
Yeah.
but then the graveyard, the grass felt like it had been cut since the episode had because the grass filled all over the graves.
No way.
Um, so like
Because even then it was pretty bad, wasn't it? It was pretty, you can see in the scenes it looks a bit kind of mad.
yeah,
I remember running through that, the scene where I'm being chased.
yeah,
And it was really dodgy because there was just like potholes left, right, and center. Um, but no, it was a cool place to shoot.
yeah. So I was able to get in the church, get the key the the place
No
across the
way, you
road.
managed to get in.
Yeah, I managed to get in.
Fantastic.
And if it was cool because a lot of the scenes, especially in the first episode,
Yeah,
were there.
they really were. They were, and that was pretty much our main place. Oh, it was so fun, guys. It's nice. I never really actually relive a lot of it, but chatting to you, I'm kind of going back there a little bit and thinking of all the kind of mad things that happened. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I like going to the little locations because a lot of Doctor Who is filmed at church.
Yeah.
Funny enough, but I always really interested about the locations because you have some that are in the middle of nowhere,
Mm.
um, and then so you have an episode like you say at the temple that's probably so far away from where the church is, right? And you have all these locations in different sequences, so it's really
Yeah.
cool how they do it.
Oh, it's yeah, it's amazing, and it's great. It's great for Wales that it's been there for so long, and I think it's brought a lot of industry to Wales because people, I think Doctor Who was one of the first sort of things that kind of decided to shoot in Wales, and then Casualty's here now, and there's just lots of good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice to kind of relive it and like 16 years of those two episodes in particular.
for sure.
Um, but did you have a personal like looking back? Did you have a personal like favorite scene that you had with like anyone, if you remember?
That's a good question. I really enjoyed the scene because do you know what? It's probably one of the most quotable scenes in terms of people coming up to me. You know, the scene where he's kind of quoting my mind's gone blank. What's his name? Arthur Conan Doyle. What's the guy? It's the detective.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? My head.
Um, I forgot myself.
Oh my gosh, the most famous detective ever. Like this is ridiculous. I'm gonna have to type it up just because it's gonna really annoy me. Arthur Conan Doyle. What was the Sherlock Holmes? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
He's quoting Sherlock Holmes and he's walking around the graves and he says, "Oh, the graves around here eat people." And like he's talking, I love doing that scene because it was kind of playing into Elliot's intrigue, and I think that's why he's quite a sweet character because he's kind of the audience in a way. He kind of represents the audience who want to know more and want to kind of be a little bit of a detective and find out what's going on. And he's a bit of a cheeky chappy, and yeah, I enjoyed that scene. It's
Yeah.
when Arthur, I think it's Arthur, is in the not Arthur, is it? Yeah, Arthur. Is that the name of his character? Rory? Is it
Yeah,
Rory?
yeah, his real
Sorry,
name's
Arthur
Arthur.
Darville.
Yeah,
Arthur
Arthur
Darville.
Darville, yeah.
Yeah, my head is getting confused. Arthur Conan Doyle. No, Arthur Darville. He was in the grave, and I'm like kind of talking. I kind of spook him and talk about how, yeah, that was probably one of my favorite scenes to film because it was a little bit of my character in control. Um, Also, the chase scenes are always fun, you know, a little bit of action.
Running around.
Exactly. Getting paid to just run, basically.
Yeah. Nothing better than that.
Nothing better than that.
Yeah, and then I think you had some like headphones on as well, so like you had music as well while doing it.
Yeah, they didn't put any music on, sadly, but I remember those headphones because I remember thinking they're really like modern. You're back. You okay?
Yeah, kicks me out again.
Very strange. No, I was saying about how like Bluetooth wireless headphones at the time weren't really a thing, so it felt like such a cool thing. But obviously now they're like ubiquitous. But when is the actual date? Isn't it set in like 2025 or something?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is actually set in 2025. Yeah.
I'm right. Oh, I am right. Okay, cool.
Oh, no, it might be 2020.
It might actually be 2020, which is funny because there's no COVID.
Yeah,
But maybe it was January 2020.
it was funny when it actually was 2020 though.
Yes, because it was like actually, I remember at the time them putting it in the script, and I remember reading 2020 and thinking, wow, that's like ages away.
Yeah, and people actually watch it in 2020, and it's like I'm watching it in its real time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but it was brilliant. It like I think the music especially. I really enjoyed the music when watching the speeches from people talking.
It's a really cool, I just think it's quite a neat little two-hander, you know, it's just like two cool episodes, like lots of fun characters dealing with a situation. Um, for me, it's like when Doctor Who is at its best is when the stories are quite stripped down and there's just like quite clear things going on. Do you know what I mean? Um, there's just a bad thing, but the kind of moral dilemma of it as well, the kind of you know, like we were destroying these people on you know, and well, these Silurians and stuff. If I remember, it's kind of it's like a bit of a moral quandary. They're not bad people, are they? They're not like bad guys. That's the whole point. Um, so yeah, well, people. I keep saying people. They're aliens, but yeah.
So at one point you were stuck under there, wasn't you? You was
Oh
in
no.
these. You that must have been fun to do. Like it's almost like you look like a zombie kind of
Yeah,
attached to it and that.
I was all with all these little things stuck to my head. Yeah, that was good fun. Um, the set for that was incredible. It was like these kind of little catacombs and weird little kind of things. And oftentimes with sets, you often think that they only do a little bit of it and then the rest of it's there. But they actually sort of built this whole world for it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
And the Silurian costumes are mad. Like I never even saw. I think the actress is Neve McIntosh. I think.
yeah.
I don't think I ever saw her without her makeup on. So I would just speak to her as a Silurian, and then the other actor, the older actor, I don't even know who he was. I don't even know his face. Um, it was just like I was just having conversations with Silurians all day, just having lunch next to a Silurian, just like, oh yeah, how you doing?
It's quite fun, isn't it? Like you don't really recognize what they look like when they're putting the makeup on.
No, literally, because they'd obviously have to go in considerably earlier than everyone else to get their makeup done. So I'd turn up on set, they'd already be in character, and that was it. It's quite
Yeah.
funny.
It is quite funny because like you have all these people go to conventions and
Mm.
because they're having these side roles as like villains and monsters, and I think it without them doesn't really make Doctor Who, so it's quite cool.
No, it's awesome. And like talking about the conventions, like they really, I don't know, they leave me really with a good feeling about humanity, I guess, because the love in the room for people's love for this thing. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily a Doctor Who fan. I was when I was a child, but I'd like kind of haven't really watched it ever since I was in it, really. But seeing people's dedication to the show and how much they care about it and how much joy it brings to people's lives is so nice. It's so nice.
Yeah, because I feel like that was peak Doctor Who. I think from for me even it's from day well actually from the Ninth Doctor, so when it was revived again until I would say personally till when Matt Smith left. Um,
I
that
think it
was
was
peak.
Eccleston to Smith. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I just felt like the stories were so clean, well written, layered. Um, we were chatting about it the other night, I think, because I was saying that I was going to do this podcast.
Hmm.
And I've been rehearsing this play this week and we were chatting about it. And they were like, "Oh, so you're into," and we were chatting, and we were all just speaking about our favorite episodes, and they're all from that era, you know, they're all from that kind of David Tennant, Matt Smith slash Eccleston era. Um, it was just unbelievable. It was when everyone on a Saturday night tuned in. You know, you had millions and millions of people tuning in. And it's quite sad, I suppose, because streaming and all that kind of thing has changed the kind of medium. But I'm so grateful that I was in it in that kind of iconic era where people sat down on a Saturday. I went to school the following Monday and I hadn't told many people, and everyone was like, "What? You were in what?" Like it was that era, you know? Everyone would watch it with their families. It was amazing.
it was, and it was really it was very for Matt Smith especially. It was very like high pressure for him because you've got David Tennant. How can you be as good as him,
Oh, he
right?
had to follow the pressure he had on his shoulders. I mean, and he dealt with it so well because he got a lot of hate, didn't he, initially?
Yeah, like a lot of people were so sad from the regeneration
Mhm.
from David Tennant to Matt Smith. Um, and it's actually Matt Smith's first episode, the 11th hour, goes down as one of the best
Wow.
openers. It's very good.
I remember being devastated when Christopher Eccleston regenerated into David Tennant. I was like, who's this guy? I remember being young and I was probably only about 10 or 11. I remember being like, what? What's this? Because at the time I had no idea who David Tennant was. So he just looked like some weird bloke. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, who's this? Um,
That's right.
but no, I'm endlessly grateful for it. It was an amazing time.
But was you consistently like watching the Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant prior to
Yeah,
going in for like
yeah. We
them?
well, just it was a family thing. We every Saturday night we'd watch Doctor Who. That was what we did. And yeah, it was brilliant. And then I think, unfortunately, being in it, I grew out of it then, in a way. Do you know what I mean? I kind of just didn't really, I sort of saw the workings of it and kind of just, it just didn't really resonate with me as much anymore. But I wonder if that might be linked to maybe I didn't enjoy the following seasons. But
Perhaps.
um,
I,
because I think the series I was in was really good. I really enjoyed some of the episodes from that because it had the Gogh one, I
yeah,
think that was in that series. Um,
Weeping Angels.
Was that in that? No. It was a redo, is it?
There was like a two-parter
Oh, no
with
way.
Weeping Angels. I think it
Wow.
might have been after your episode.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, you had. It was very different series five. Um,
It
you
felt
had
like it had a bit of budget, a bit bigger budget. Is that
yeah,
true? I don't know.
but maybe. But yeah, it had. It was very good. I feel like series five was good. Series six, series seven. Um, but then what made me fall in love? I still watch it regardless anyway.
Hmm.
But with Peter Capaldi, I just at the start I didn't really. I don't know. It was just a different type of Doctor. It was more of a granddad type figure, which, of course, back when it started, that's what it was. But yeah, because David Tennant and Matt Smith are very similar in
The
their
energy was
ways,
similar, yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
you're a bit more serious and grumpy. And then you do get the first female Doctor, which was good. It was good, and
Mm.
then you have what's happening now. So, yeah, I feel like just maybe the episodes, because you can only do so much with the episodes, and if you keep trying to go back to the ones that was, it's just reinvesting. You want to have
Yeah,
new life into
it's
it.
tough because there's been so many series now, isn't there? And so they're trying to reinvent it and keep it fresh, but it obviously is tough. But yeah, like I say, I'm just so grateful I was in that kind of prime era for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you gonna watch it to celebrate the 16 years?
maybe not. I've seen it probably so many times over the years because
Yeah.
yeah, it's yeah, I probably won't, but it'll be nice to it's been nice to reminisce today
Yeah.
a little bit. I
Mm.
just can't believe it's 16 years. That is truly staggering. Time genuinely flies.
Yeah. Because last thing before we go,
Yeah.
like when I went up there, I bumped into these people that well, like live around there, and they literally sound exactly like they do in the episode, like the people. Because you had in the episode you had people that live around there. It's almost like you had everyone that was cast in The Hungry Earth had that sort of accent around the area.
Sure.
It seemed,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it was very strong Welsh. Uh,
It's Valley's Welsh,
yeah,
it's very like my accent has kind of become a little bit more neutral the older I've got because I live in London, so and I went to drama school and stuff like that. You kind of lose a bit of your accent, but I still think I got a relatively strong Welsh accent. But that when I was that age, I had a proper strong Welsh accent, so it was well cast. It was well cast.
yeah, yeah. Because I'm having to really concentrate on what they're saying, um, because apparently around the area there was this like some guy was ran up and down the hill around or something, around that area. It was in the Guinness World Records or something.
No way.
Someone on bare feet would
Oh, I've heard of this.
like
Yeah,
run all the way around, uh, like like the fastest amount of time,
I've heard of this. Yeah.
and they were talking about that, and I was like, okay, didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'm just here for Doctor Who.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to say. I think what I think the problem was because I didn't want to go back out up that big steep hill, and I was kind of asking for directions. Is there another way I can get back to where I'm staying in Cardiff? Um, so no, they said you can go that the other way. So it was just directions, and then they ended up talking and
That's
talking.
hilarious. Well, it's the Welsh. We love a chat. We love an excuse for a chat.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
Um, but yeah, thank you, Sam,
No
for
problem at all. It's been
sharing
really,
some time.
really lovely. It's flown by. I can't believe we're already at the time.
Yeah. But yeah, it's glad to have you on and like talk about it. Because like I said before, I like having people that've been in Doctor Who in any way. Um,
I
it
appreciate you reaching out.
yeah,
It's sweet. Last year I was busy, and when you message again, I was like, yeah, why not? I've got a bit of free time. Let's do it.
yeah.
Um, it's awesome. Nice.
If you end up being a doctor one day, let me know.
I think you'll know. You'll obviously know.
Yeah.
You'll be the
Yeah.
first to know. You'll be the
But
first to know.
but come back to me before you anyone else pops you up for interviews.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll do a little redo of this.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All
Okay.
right.
Right.
Awesome.
Thanks, Sam. And to anyone listening, watching today, we hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you in the next one.